What's up, you guys? It's Macy, maybe, and this is my very first junk journal. Not only that, this is actually the first journal that I have completed cover to cover ever in my life. Before this, I was one of those people who would buy journals that I thought were really pretty, that I really loved, and then I would feel like I didn't have anything worthy of a journal that pretty. Look at this beautiful journal. I wrote 2 pages in this, full page, cursive, and then since then I've never had a page worth of thoughts that I feel like I can fill in this in one sitting, so I just don't use it. Like that, with every other journal before this one, I was constantly trapping myself in imaginary mental boxes. But the truth is, there's nothing stopping you. I had all of this stuff. I had so much stationery. Every stationery person has their vice. For me, it's stickers. I have a ridiculous amount of stickers. The thing about stickers is if you're not putting them somewhere, then they're not serving their innate function. And eventually, in my case, some of them were getting damaged because I wasn't using them. And that's kind of when I hit my breaking point. I was like, okay, if I'm not using it, then it's trash. Same thing with some of my concert tickets that have been shoved in the bottom of a shoebox. Were getting wrinkled and faded. I need to actually go through the act of saving something. It needed to be more intentional. And that's why I went to Michael's. I was like, I'm gonna buy the first journal I see and nothing else because I don't need any more stationery. It's leather enough. I didn't want to order it on Amazon. I specifically wanted to start that day. I also didn't want to Google anything about junk journaling because I'm the kind of person who traps myself into imaginary mental boxes. And one of those is needing to have the best version of everything. So if I had started Googling junk journaling, I would have typed in best starter junk journal. And then I'm already trapping myself in a trend cycle, an aesthetic, something else that it doesn't need to be. This is your junk journal. A journal is the most personal thing in the world. A junk journal especially is your trash. It's everything you have. You don't need to conform to any made up imaginary rules. A junk journal is only what you want it to be. And what I wanted it to be was, I'm starting this right now. You gotta strike while the iron is hot. I felt like journaling right then, and I was like, I'm gonna go buy a journal right now. And this is my journal. Here is what she looks like, chunky in all her glory. Page 1, I actually already had this Polaroid. I just didn't have a place for it for a long time, so it made a great starter page. All of this backgrounds that you'll see a lot of origami paper. I had a lot of this origami paper that I utilized a lot for backgrounds, and if you'll notice, it was the perfect size. They're really thin too, which was great because I wanted to layer a lot of them consistently in a lot of these. When I started this, I had just written the first date, and then I came back and I filled in the end date once I completed it. So this was from October 7th of last year, and I ended it at right around New Year's or the start of this year, 2026. Here's my first page. You'll see some of my supplies made it, the Elmer's glue. This is my backgrounds. This is all that origami paper that I showed. This is some old America Girl doll stickers and stationery that I found in the bottom of our cabinets mixed with an old envelope. These are actually some stickers that were gifted to me that I came back and added after. That was my first spread. That's all I had to start with. From there, I then was able to start doing some more of my interests, use some more, again, old Polaroids that would not have been used otherwise, and some old prints that I had found from other places that I kind of wanted to mood board with more stuff that I wanted to keep. So awesome memory here. Great show. Next page you can clearly see was from my favorite Pokemon. I had this cute little handwritten thank you note that was given to me. Thank you note came with a Jolteon pin that I ordered online at some point from Lazy Doodles. You can see got some other random stickers. This is an old Zoomies sticker. Slime made it. A bunch of old anime stickers that I had for no reason. Loved getting to play with all the colors and stuff here and mixing trash with all of the stationery that I had. This is where I got to have fun with that. And it hurt me a little bit to tear this Pokemon card, but I have so many that I wanted to do it for the aesthetic and I don't regret it. And I'm very happy with how my Jolteon page turned out. Next was just a quick Halloween page from where I was working at my job. Part of why this was perfect for me was because I was getting a lot of flyers and stuff. Here's the second runaround show that I went to. Awesome, because I was able to get one of these physical tickets this time. This was up in Boone, so I have the App State sticker that I had had forever with nowhere to put it that finally seemed to really go well with this page. And then I also got a wristband that night, which was super cool because half the time concert wristbands I just throw away. So it was really cool to utilize this. I actually did something fun on this page too, where in here, a set list from the concert. The coolest part about a journal is that it's personal and I can stash secrets in here that nobody else can see. Right after this was a mall day. If you can tell, we hit a couple of places, Hot Topic, PacSun, H&M. Did my little entry under here for this one. Random sales sticker, random cat sticker. This is the back of a mini Sue receipts. This one has receipts as background. Hot Topic under there. This is when I was starting to have fun. I wanted each page to look very different and distinct, so definitely was trying to do different colors and different themes for each page in the beginning. Next up, this is more stuff from my job. Awesome color. Loved the way all this was. Awesome. This was just a quick one-night trip with dinner in Chapel Hill, which was super awesome. Picked up a newspaper that was free in our hotel lobby to utilize for this one. Pokemon release day. I'm so happy I still have this to remember going to buy this game because I went in person to get it on release day. It has my receipt, my lunch from that day, the pen that they gave me, and I'll always remember my little Totodile and how much fun I had playing this game. After this, we have a Mr. Tokyo. This was awesome because, you know, restaurants like this, there's all kinds of things to grab. This was the takeout menu, napkin, Mr. Tokyo chopsticks right here. This is from the back side of the chopstick. And then actually I think in this one, yeah, I hid my entry underneath the napkin. This was actually right before my birthday, and I really just made this page because I was gifted this card that I wanted to use. I cut this beautiful little masterpiece out of the inside of the card so that you could then flip through to have one more back page. Happy that I got to hang on to a card like this that I may not have had a place for otherwise. That was the main purpose of this journal. Is it's junk, but it's also stuff that I want to keep and that I don't have somewhere to keep otherwise. This is my birthday. This is when I turned 23. My gift was Audio-Technica headphones. This is actually a pamphlet that came with these Audio-Technica headphones that were a gift on my birthday. But again, would probably have gone in the trash, but I think look really cool. This was a party hat that was left in my little office at work, which was super cute. This is Trader Joe's bag and just some stuff that reminded me of my day. These are all like old happy birthday stickers and lots of retro stickers that my mom just had and had never used because she's a stationary person just like I am. For my birthday, the day after, we went to the Renaissance Festival, which was awesome because there was lots of stuff to grab there. The main thing I took away was this background, which is the Renaissance Festival map, Carolina Ren Fair. The other thing that I found right on my way out of the park that is real junk is this little shiny doubloon looking thing. I think it probably fell off of one of those like skirts that jingle. But thankfully I already had a lot of these cool Ren Fair looking stickers, again from like some vintage sticker pack that I had gotten, and like when else are you going to use a tablecloth sticker other than a cool spread like this? Like a lot of these things by themselves had no purpose, but then I feel like end up looking really beautiful once they all come together. This was an absolutely amazing birthday. I had so much fun this day. Genuinely, I remember so much about this day because of the way that I documented it here. More gifts for my birthday, thank you cards. This was in my craft bag, finally arrived. Some pins that I was gifted. Just more fun. Again, this was pretty much a trash page and a sick day that I documented all into one. Sticky note instructions from work, a birthday card from my grandmother, little handouts from the gynecologist, a note my mom left me. Nobody else picks up cards like this anymore, and I was in a big junk phase where I just love dumping it all into the journal and making collages like this. So random page. This was Halloween. I was Godzilla. I actually made my costume from scratch using poster board. Actually, this poster board that I have put into it. This is also the poster board here. I made this costume myself. I also used string lights. So the string lights are right here. I included those. My receipts from Walmart and Hobby Lobby of all the stuff that I got to make my Godzilla costume. And then yeah, here's my inspo pic. I think I hid my entries tucked underneath This is loose on a zip tie, actually a zip tie into the poster board, because zip ties and poster board is how I assembled this tail. It felt appropriate to also utilize the zip tie and poster board on the spread. And it makes for a cool pop out a little bit too. I like how much texture this page has. Start of November, fun little spread. This was just a big piece of like a big poster that again would have gotten thrown away otherwise, but I really liked the look of it, so I kept it. This is also some extra of that newspaper that I had from before that I just used as a background. This is the same envelope from before, just more trash. This was an event that we had, big poster for the event that I then ripped apart to make this. This one's pretty simple because so much of it was big, but I still think it looks really cool and feels like the day looking back on it. This is a couple of days after, a full trash spread page. This was on the back of a Dr. Pepper box, literally like, you know, a week after my Godzilla costume and right after I had started collecting trash. So my dad saved it for me and my mom gave it to me, and it really felt like one of those moments where it's like, oh, I feel like I'm meant to be doing this because now that I'm paying attention, the universe is rewarding me with really cool stuff to put in my journal. I love this Godzilla thing. Where else would you keep this Dr. Pepper box other than a junk journal? Next page, it was a pizza night. This was a flyer that came on top of our Domino's pizza. It was also right when I ordered Newbie, a cat shelf. This is the instructions for it in the background. And then it also came with bubble wrap. Oh, it's still bubble wrap. This is just bubble wrap that I glued in here. Two completely random things that I wouldn't have even remembered happened on the same day if I didn't have this fun little notebook to document. More work pages. This was a coloring sheet that I stole. Whoa, this was when I finished a box of stickers. This was actually the packaging that the stickers came in. So I made it a little pop-up because the other thing we did this day, I remember without even reading, because my mom and I were cleaning out the pantry this day. And I remember because this reminds me just of cleaning out the pantry, seeing there's some things we found in there. Next page, this was the Newbie-versary. This was 1 year celebration of me bringing Newbie home. More notes from my mom, but also these cat stickers that I'd had forever with nowhere to really put. But I mixed it with some of these, you know, his name is Anubis, so some of my cool astrology looking origami paper is what I've been using. More of this vellum quotes and all around awesome page. Newbie-versary. I love my little cat. Next page was when I went to see Axe and the Hatchet Men. I stayed in a hotel, so I've got some of the stuff from the hotel here with the courtyard and our room key. This is the room key little pouch, which is super cool. This is actually the stage plot from that show, which was given to me, which looks super duper awesome because you still can see the full thing in here. And a little Foxtide sticker to see because that was the opening band. More handouts from work and some confetti on this page that I like how shiny it is. And I conveniently had a little thing that said cue the confetti that it felt appropriate to use. Friendsgiving event right after that, which had these cute little decorative trees that were little table centerpieces. This was an extra that again was gonna get thrown in the trash, and by this point it was so sweet, people were taking notice of my hobby and were starting to offer me things. So this tree was given to me to take home. I feel like we're changing through the seasons as we go. We were at Halloween earlier. This was a short film premiere that I went to from a former classmate of mine. This is actually the popcorn bag that I ate out of. I ripped the yucky buttery part off. A little ticket that we got. Awesome memory. I'm so glad I was able to keep this somewhere because again, I don't know necessarily where I would have kept a paper ticket like this one. This specifically really reminds me of the short film and it was an awesome day. So glad that I have this page to remember it by. This was the day that Phantasmal Flames released. I actually pre-ordered this, so this was the day that they arrived. I already had the Pokemon stickers, so these all felt appropriate. This is from the packs themselves that I've put in here. Love this Pokemon page so much. Right after that, I went to see Now You See Me, Now You Don't, so I had a movie day. This is another movie popcorn bag mixed with another pre-order arrived, so I opened some Stellar Crown, simple little spread. Still some Pokemon in there because I did do some Pokemon opening that day. Glad I can remember that. Another work event they did. That was our Christmas party. This was the day that I flew out to Austin to see Axe and the Hatchet Men. This was the day that we were commuting through Texas. This sticker came from one of the places that we ate at, which was awesome. Also one of these valet cards from my flight back. Awesome, awesome trip. It was so much fun. It's right at the start of December and I went to see a high school production of Frozen. Then there was a Christmas party and gingerbread house building event. I nabbed one of the gingerbread house building boxes and love the way this Christmas party spread looks. Definitely starting to feel very holiday. Some gifts that I received for holidays, very Christmassy back here. This is like the week leading up to Christmas, if you can tell by some of the funds. And then this is Christmas Day. Got my Jolteon comfy friends. I got a portable charger brick. This is some of the gift tags that we had that I used, and some old NC State ones. Love this. This was my Christmas spread. Right after that, we traveled back up to Boone and got some Comeback Shack, which was so much fun. Love the yellow of this page, again for App State. Right after that, I visited Asheville, went to their Mass General store and got all this stuff from their brochure section. They had all kinds of like nature brochures and stuff, which are free. You should take them. And then this was our last trip, because then I finally finished the journal. I knew that I only had like 4 pages left, so actually what I did is give this full table of contents of all of my pages, and then I cut a couple of these pages out to make a fun frame, because that's it. That's the last page. It was such a weird feeling finishing this and getting to the end and like it actually being the last page and trying to decide what to write on the last page, because I have never finished a journal before. I am super, super proud of this junk journal. If you can tell, it's a relatively short period of time in my life, but it's a period of time where a lot of stuff was happening all at once. So it was important to me to document it, to remember it. For me, it took journaling with literal trash to overcome the voice in my head, scared to mess it up. I kept thinking that because I couldn't imagine what the end result of a product was gonna look like, I shouldn't ever start. With junk journaling, it doesn't look good until you're done. And no step of the process did I ever like the way it looked, and that just meant that I wasn't finished yet. It was trash. I didn't like the way that any of it looked separately, and that's why it was going into this journal, because I didn't like it by itself. Junk journaling became about making all of it beautiful together, about making me feel the way that I felt in these moments and helping me to remember more so than regret hanging on to something that I otherwise wouldn't need to. Some artists can walk up to a canvas and know exactly what they want to paint and see it in their minds and paint that and execute it perfectly. But some artists walk up to a canvas and they just start painting, and what they want to make and what they feel takes shape through crafting with the medium. I'm not saying that my junk book is anywhere as complex as beautiful museum quality painting. What I am saying though is you just have to do it. What this really was doing. What journaling as a hobby is the journaling itself. It's the time you take with yourself. It's what you put into it, because all of the love and intentionality that you pour into this will then reflect out when you revisit it. I can look through this now and remember why I put certain stickers in certain places, because it reminds me of the way the day was. The hard part though is keeping yourself from accumulating too much trash that is not useful, because ultimately a lot of this stuff, as I said as I was flipping through it, would not have had a use otherwise and would have been trash otherwise. If you have somewhere to put it and you are intentional about hanging on to it and it is special to you, you should keep it. I do think it's a very slippery slope though, of starting to junk journal and then finding yourself accumulating more junk than you can actually use. There's a whole newspaper at some point and 2 scraps made it into the journal for the sake of what I wanted it to look like, and I had to throw the rest away. The key to junk journaling is also knowing when to throw stuff away. Don't trap yourself in imaginary boxes. Start a junk journal literally today. You already have the stuff for it. Everybody already has the stuff for it. For me though, junk journaling did end up causing me to accumulate a lot more stuff than I knew what to do with. I would love to do another junk journal as a project for a busy season or a period of time where I have a lot of stuff to journal, like I did when I was working this job. But for now, it has enabled me to believe that I can finish a journal. And this year, my current journal is actually my Hobonichi Weeks, which I would love to show you guys because she gets plenty of junk in her too, just not quite as much. I feel confident now that I can actually finish this journal because I finished a journal now. I'm not stuck in eternal inability to complete journal hell. I have escaped that now. If you want to see any more journaling content, or if you're interested to see more of my Hobonichi Week, you should absolutely subscribe for more videos. I make lots of different content, including gaming, but that's because I have lots of different hobbies, which I hope that my junk journal could reflect. And that's a good thing. So I appreciate you guys sticking around. Hope you have a good one. Bye.